Life is so beautiful. One day, 1 hour, 1 minute will never come again. Every moment is a gift that won't return. So why waste it on worries and problems? Let go of the stress, the fears, and the overthinking. Instead, focus on the beauty around you, the small joys that make life worth living. Problems will always be there, but happiness is a choice you can make every day. Embrace each second with gratitude, live fully in the present, and remember to find joy in the little things because they make life extraordinary.
5 sentences that will make you rethink your life. 1. Happiness is not the absence of problems, it's the ability to deal with them. 2. Feeling sad after making a decision doesn't mean it was the wrong decision. 3. The lesson you struggle with will repeat itself until you learn from it. 4. You're not stressed because you're doing too much. You're stressed because you're doing too little of what makes you feel most alive. 5. Never regret a day in your life. Good days give happiness. Bad days give experience. The worst days give lessons. And the best days give memories. Be so confident in God's plan that you don't even get upset when things go wrong. It's just life testing you. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Sometimes the greatest growth happens when you're uncomfortable and uncertain. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of us, but those who win battles we know nothing about. Every next level of your life will demand a different version of you.
People respect the money, not the person. We live in a society where wealth often equates to respect. You've seen it. People treat you differently when they think you've got money. They act like you're someone special, not because of who you are, but because of what you have. But here's the harsh truth. If people respect you only because of your money, that respect is fake. It's shallow. And as soon as the money is gone, so is the respect. The true measure of a person's worth isn't in their bank account, it's in their character. It's how they treat people when nobody's watching, how they show up in the world when there's nothing to gain. So don't chase respect by chasing money. Chase it by living a life of integrity, by staying true to yourself, by being someone who lifts others up. Because here's the reality. Real respect, the kind that lasts, comes from who you are, not what you have.
The person who broke your heart doesn't regret it. They've moved on while you're stuck suffering. They never cared about your pain because it wasn't their problem. You thought they were different, but they were not. They were selfish and using you until they didn't need you anymore. Let this be your lesson, because love doesn't always come back the way you give it. When a girl truly loves you, you are the first person with whom she shares every good and bad news. She respects your dreams and motivates you to chase them. She looks after your happiness more than her own. She shares every small detail of her life with you. She becomes your courage, strength, and a companion in every good and bad time. She enjoys being with you. She smiles when you are around. She respects you. She dresses up for you, not for the public. She finds excuses to talk to you. She cares for your family. She talks about you with her best friend. She looks at you most of the times. She always encourages you. She's concerned about you. She actively listens to you and your needs. She happily accepts you for who you are. And most importantly, she often says, "I love you." Now tag your lady in the comments and say, "I love you," because that queen deserves it. Please do not forget to drop a like. Thank you. Find a girl who does these 5 things. 1, a girl who is not shy on showing others how much she loves you. 2, a girl who lives far away but has never cheated on you. 3, a girl who sees you not just as a boyfriend but as a husband. 4, a girl who treats you like a king. 5, a girl who asks for permission before doing something simply because she respects you and considers your decisions. If you've watched this far, drop a 100. It shows you're a part of the one person who actually finishes what they start. So, keep your eyes open, your heart ready, and your mind clear. Who knows? Maybe that girl you're searching for is just around the corner, waiting for someone like you to come along and sweep her off her feet. And when you find her, well, let's just say you'll know it was worth the wait. At last, there is saying that the greatest happiness of life is the conviction that we are loved. loved for ourselves, or rather loved in spite of ourselves.
When you're angry, stay silent. Don't waste your time with explanations. Sometimes silence is the best way to cope with your emotions. People only hear what they want to hear. Accept criticism, but never accept disrespect. The best way to respect yourself is to discipline yourself. Persevere and never give up on something that you truly believe. It's difficult to wait, but it's more difficult to regret. Don't let success go to your head. Don't let failure go to your heart. If you are a giver, remember to know and learn your limits, because the takers don't have any. Remember, it's better to cry than to be angry, because anger hurts others, while tears flow silently through the soul and clean our hearts, giving us a fresh reset.
When you see someone who is always calm, incredibly kind, and avoiding conflicts, be careful. This person notices everything. They remain silent because they know if they get angry, it will hurt. They keep everything inside, choosing to stay calm. But the day it explodes, it's a real storm. And the one who triggered that anger will bear the brunt. If you have watched this far drop a 100, it shows you're a part of the 1% who actually finishes what they start. Everyone has a limit, and for them, this limit is often higher than for most people. But once it's crossed, expect a superstorm. That's why it's essential to respect them. Don't mistake their silence for weakness. Behind every calm smile, there is a strength and determination that can surprise you. Within the tranquility lies the reservoir of resilience. Beware the calm, for it holds the tempest within.
I'm man enough to admit that I was a terrible person. I've made mistakes, hurt people I care about, and there were times when I didn't recognize the person staring back at me in the mirror. It took a lot of self-reflection and owning up to my actions to realize just how much I needed to change. The truth is, I'm not proud of who I was, but I'm proud of the fact that I'm working hard to become someone better. Who I'm becoming now is miles ahead of who I used to be. I've learned to take responsibility, to grow from my past, and to be more aware of the impact I have on the people around me. Every day is a step towards being a better version of myself, and I know I'm still on that journey. The important part is that I'm moving forward, learning, and improving. I've come to understand that change doesn't happen overnight, but the fact that I'm committed to becoming a better person means more than staying stuck in the past. My mistakes don't define me. They're lessons that are shaping me into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. I've been through so much these last few months with people regarding their decisions involving me. I no longer care who goes. I will kindly open the door for whoever to leave or to see myself out. I know I'm a good person. My heart is pure. My heart is big. It's not one hating. I'm loyal, and I know what I bring to the table. Anybody that does not see the value of me being on their side does not have to have me. Life moves on. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. Life is full of challenges, but the difference between success and failure is often determined by our willingness to persevere. When your desire is strong enough, obstacles become opportunities, and excuses fade into the background. The power to achieve lies within your mindset and determination, and once you commit fully, there's no limit to what you can accomplish.
A woman who doesn't listen does not belong in your life. I shall explain. A woman who doesn't take corrections from you, a woman who doesn't take instructions from you, a woman who doesn't take direction from you is dangerous. That woman is condescending and arrogant. She thinks she's doing you a favor by being in a relationship with you. That woman thinks she's better than you, and she deserves to be with someone who's better than you, richer than you, more successful than you. That woman is disrespectful, always arguing with you, always creating unnecessary drama, giving you no peace because she wants to prove a point. That woman is an unfaithful, ungrateful, disloyal, and treacherous. She will betray you, humiliate you, and abandon you for another man. Stop trying to change her. That woman will ruin you, upgrade your mind, and learn life lessons in our account.
Always remember this. Never judge the future of a person in their current situation. Time has the power to change the black coal into shiny diamond. If a woman has no money, 99% of men will support her. If a man has no money, 99% of women will overlook him. And that's just the reality of life. Men fall in love with what they see. Women fall in love with what men say. Which is why women will always wear makeup and simps will always lie.
You know what? In my life, I've apologized without being at fault. I lowered my head when I was right. I did for others what they would never do for me. I hid how I was feeling so no one would worry. So don't call me selfish, because I've lost count of the times I've put others' happiness above my own.
A woman who doesn't listen does not belong in your life. I shall explain. A woman who doesn't take corrections from you, a woman who doesn't take instructions from you, a woman who doesn't take direction from you is dangerous. That woman is condescending and arrogant. She thinks she's doing you a favor by being in a relationship with you. That woman thinks she's better than you, and she deserves to be with someone who's better than you, richer than you, more successful than you. That woman is disrespectful, always arguing with you, always creating unnecessary drama, giving you no peace because she wants to prove a point. That woman is an unfaithful, ungrateful, disloyal, and treacherous. She will betray you, humiliate you, and abandon you for another man. Stop trying to change her. That woman will ruin you, upgrade your mind, and learn life lessons in our account.
A jealous family member is more dangerous than a hateful enemy. For while an enemy attacks from afar, jealousy festers within, eroding the bonds that should be unbreakable. Choose your alliances wisely, for the strength of family lies not just in blood, but in genuine support and shared love.
Remember, hate has 4 letters, and so does love. Enemies has 7 letters, and so does friends. Lying has 5 letters, but so does truth. Failure has 7 letters, and so does success. Cry has 3 letters, and so does joy. And negativity has 10 letters, and so does positivity. You always have a choice, so choose the better side of it. From this day forward, I challenge you to go out and change the world for the better. Maturing means realizing you don't want to be around drama, stress, or conflict anymore. You start choosing calm over chaos and distance over disrespect. You start prioritizing your peace, mental health, and happiness over everything. And never forget that failure is the catalyst for growth. Each setback is a lesson, each mistake a stepping stone. Embrace your journey with all its ups and downs, and let every experience shape you into a stronger, wiser, and more compassionate person. Listen to these words very carefully. If you get fat, people think you eat too much. If you lose weight, people think you're sick. If you dress well, you're showing off. If you dress simple, you're poor. If you speak your mind, you're rude. If you don't, you're a coward. If you're successful, you're arrogant. If you're struggling, you're lazy. If you're honest, you're naive. You see, no matter what you do in life, people will always criticize you without fail. So do whatever makes you happy, do whatever fulfills you, and build your dream life, one day at a time. If you're not following us, there's a big chance you'll never hear my voice again. But if you are, congratulations. You're growing every day. It took me 10 years.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough, wanna hate this, I'll show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so
lust and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words.
8 psychology facts about best friends. 1. If a friendship lasts longer than 7 years, psychologists say it will last a lifetime. 2. Never worry about losing a friend, because a real friend can never be lost. 3. Friendship is not about who you spend the most time with. It's about who you have the best time with. 4. A strong friendship doesn't need daily conversation. It doesn't always need togetherness. 5. Best friends are people who make your problems their problems, just so you don't have to go through them alone. 6. A true friend is someone who sees the pain in your eyes, while everyone else believes the smile on your face. 7. Only a true friend will tell you to your face what others are saying behind your back. 8. Sometimes being with your best friend is all the therapy you need. If you're not following us, you will most likely never hear my voice again. But if you are, congratulations. You're growing every day. Charlie Chaplin lived 88 years. He left us 4 statements. 1. Nothing is forever in this world, not even our problems. 2. I love walking in the rain because no one can see my tears. 3. The most lost day in life is the day we don't laugh. 4. Best doctors in the world are the sun, rest, exercise, diet, self-respect, and friends. Stick to them at all stages of your life and enjoy a healthy life. If you see the moon, you will see the beauty of God. If you see the sun, you will see the power of God. If you see a mirror, you will see God's best creation. So believe it. We are all tourists. God is our travel agent who has already identified our routes, bookings, and destinations. Trust Him and enjoy life. Life is just a journey. Therefore, live today, cause tomorrow may not be. If you're not following us, you're probably never going to see us again. But if you are, congrats. You're on a journey of continuous growth.
For my peace, I block, delete, unfollow, and distance myself. It's not about being cold, it's about being kind to myself. I don't have time for drama, negativity, or energy that drains me. I choose clarity over confusion and peace over chaos. My mental health comes first, so I protect my space fiercely. I'm done explaining myself, done with fake friends, and done with anything that doesn't lift me higher. It's not personal. It's about preserving my peace, prioritizing my happiness, and making room for what truly matters.
If one day you suddenly become rich, please remember these 10 things. 1. Don't tell anyone, including your parents. 2. Pay off all debts out to friends, banks, and online lenders first. 3. This money has already been transferred to your card. Don't transfer it out. Put it in for 6 months first. 4. Don't buy a house immediately or rent a house in a high-end neighborhood. 5. Don't rush to quit your job immediately. 6. Don't buy a car or luxury goods yet. 7. Don't partner in business with friends, relatives, or classmates. 8. If you have children, do everything possible to prevent them from knowing that you are rich. 9. Maintain the status quo. Act like nothing has changed. 10. Be cautious with big data and avoid indiscriminate sharing. If you're not following us, you're probably never going to see us again. But if you are, congrats. You're on a journey of continuous growth. Once a woman noticed 3 men standing outside her house. Approaching them, she asked, "Are you hungry? Would you like to come inside?" One of the men replied, "Is your husband home?" She answered, "No, he's not here yet." They said, "Then we cannot enter." In the evening, when her husband returned, she told him about the 3 men. He said, "Go and tell them I am home now. Invite them in." She did as he asked, but the men replied, "We cannot all enter together." Curious, she asked why. The first man said, "I am wealth." The second man said, "I am luck." The third man said, "And I am love. Only one of us can enter. Decide whom you want to invite in." She relayed this to her husband, who said, "Let's invite wealth." The woman suggested, Let's invite luck. Their little boy chimed in, let's invite love. Then our house will be full of love. They agreed, and she invited love in. To her surprise, the other two men also began walking towards the house. Confused, she said, I only invited love. Why are you coming too? They replied, wherever love is, there is always wealth and luck. Would you have passed the test if it were you? Share with us what you've learned in the comment section. A man was polishing his new car. His 4-year-old daughter picked up a stone and scratched on the side of the car. In anger, the furious man took his child's hand, hit it many times, not realizing he was using the back of the brush. At the hospital, the child lost all his fingers due to multiple fractures. When the child saw her father with painful eyes, he asked, Dad, when will my fingers grow back? The man was so hurt and speechless, he went back to the car and kicked it many times, devastated by his own action. Sitting in front of the car, he looked at the scratches his daughter had written. Love you, Dad. Moral: remember, anger and love have no limit. Always remember that things are to be used and people are to be loved. But the problem in today's world is that people are being used. Things are being loved. 5 times to be quiet. 1. When someone tries to tell you how they feel, just be quiet. 2. When everyone is talking over each other, just be quiet. 3. When somebody won't let you finish, just be quiet. They don't want to listen anyway. 4. When you're searching yourself for an answer, just be quiet. 5. When you're experiencing a beautiful moment, just be quiet. Upgrade your mind and learn life lessons in our account. Someone graduated at the age of 22 but waited 5 years before securing a good job. Someone became a CEO at 25 and died at 50, while another became a CEO at 50 and lived to 90 years. Someone is still single while someone from his school group has become a father. Obama retired at 55 and Trump started at 70. Everyone in this world works based on your time zone. People around you might seem ahead of you, and some might seem to be behind you, but everyone is running their own race in their own time. Do not envy them. They are in their time zone, and you are in yours, so relax. You're not late, you're not early, you are very much on time. If you're not following us, you might miss out on seeing me again. But if you are, congrats. You're on a journey of continuous growth. A young man wished to marry the farmer's beautiful daughter. He went to the farmer to ask his permission. The farmer looked him over and said, Son, go stand out in that field. I'm going to release 3 bulls one at a time. If you can catch the tail of any one of the 3 bulls, you can marry my daughter. The young man stood in the pasture awaiting the first bull. The barn door opened and outran the biggest, meanest-looking bull he had ever seen. He decided that one of the next bulls had to be a better choice than this one. So he ran over to the side and let the bull pass through the pasture out the back gate. The barn door opened it again. Unbelievable. He had never seen anything so big and fierce in his life. It stood pawing the ground, grunting, flinging slobber as it eyed him. Whatever the next bull was like, it had to be a better choice than this one. He ran to the fence and let the bull pass through the pasture out the back gate. The door opened the 3rd time. A smile came across his face. This was the weakest, scrawniest little bull he had ever seen. This one was his bull. As the bull came running by, he positioned himself just right, jumped and grabbed at the exact moment, but the bull had no tail. Moral of the story: life is full of opportunities. Some will be easy to take advantage of, some will be difficult. But once we let them pass, those opportunities may never again be available. A very poor man lived with his wife. One day, his wife, who had very long hair, asked him to buy her a comb. The man felt very sorry and said no. He explained that he did not even have enough money to fix the strap of his watch he had just broken. Wife did not insist on her request. The man went to work and passed by a watch shop, sold his damaged watch, and bought a comb for his wife. When he came back to home, he was surprised when he saw his wife with a very short haircut. She had sold her hair and was holding a new watch. Tears flowed from their eyes, not for the futility of their actions, but for the reciprocity of their love. Morale. To love is nothing. To be loved is something. But to love and to be loved by the one you love is everything. So always value the companionship of those you hold dear, and consistently devote yourself to their care and happiness. If you're not following us, you're probably never going to see us again. But if you are, congrats. You're on a journey of continuous growth.
A little boy named Adam was born into sadness. His mother passed away shortly after his birth. His father, busy with work, soon remarried, hoping his new wife could help care for Adam. However, the stepmother cared only for her own 2 children, treating Adam coldly and harshly. One chilly evening, Adam's stepmother invited her relatives over for dinner. She served delicious food and treats to her own children and their guests. But for Adam, she angrily handed him a small plate of plain rice. "Go eat outside in the yard," she ordered. Adam took the plate, stepped out into the cold yard, and sat beside the house. The night air was icy, but he didn't touch his food. He just sat there, feeling the loneliness and hurt. Tears ran down his cheeks as he shivered in the cold, but his stepmother didn't notice. When the guests left, she simply cleaned up, put her children to bed, and went to sleep without checking on Adam. When Adam's father came home, he was tired and didn't check on his son either. He casually asked his wife where Adam was, and she assured him, "He's sleeping with the children." Trusting her words, the father went to bed. That night he had a vivid dream of his late wife. She appeared before him, her face filled with worry, and warned, "Beware, Adam is in danger." He woke up in a panic and asked his wife again, but she brushed it off, saying, "It's just a dream. Adam's fine." Despite his unease, the man went back to sleep, only to dream of his first wife once more. She appeared again, this time more urgent, repeating, "Check on Adam." He woke up frightened, but again his wife reassured him, so he lay back down. Later that night, his wife appeared a third time in his dreams, her voice now calm yet sad, saying, "Rest assured, Adam is with me now." The father jolted awake, feeling dread, and ran to look for his son. When he didn't find Adam with the other children, he asked his wife, and she finally told him to check the yard. The father rushed outside and found Adam huddled near the house, his small body cold and lifeless. His little face was pale, his hands were blue, and the untouched plate of rice sat beside him. Adam had quietly passed away, not from the cold alone, but from the sadness and heartbreak he carried in his little heart. Adam was only 4 years old. His gentle spirit had been worn down by loneliness, hurt, and the love he never received. And so, the story ends, a reminder that neglect and unkindness can leave wounds no warmth can heal. If you find value in this story, please like, share, write a comment below, and follow for more meaningful tales. An emperor was growing old and knew it was time to choose his successor. Instead of choosing one of his assistants or his children, he decided something different. He called young people in the kingdom together one day. He said, "It is time for me to step down and choose the next emperor. I have decided to choose one of you." The people were shocked, but the emperor continued, "I am going to give each one of you a seed today, one very special seed. I want you to plant the seed, water it, and come back here after 1 year from today with what you have grown from this one seed. I will then judge the plants that you bring, and the one I choose will be the next emperor." One boy named Ling was there that day, and he, like the others, received a seed. He went home and excitedly told his mother the story. She helped him get a pot and planting soil, and he planted the seed and watered it carefully. Every day he would water it and watch to see if it had grown. After about 3 weeks, some of the other youths began to talk about their seeds and the plants that were beginning to grow. Ling kept checking his seed, but nothing ever grew. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks went by. Still nothing. By now others were talking about their plants, but Ling didn't have a plant, and he felt like a failure. 6 months went by, still nothing in Ling's pot. He just knew he had killed his seed. Everyone else had trees and tall plants, but he had nothing. Ling didn't say anything to his friends, however. He just kept waiting for his seed to grow. A year finally went by, and all the youths of the kingdom brought their plants to the emperor for inspection. Ling told his mother that he wasn't going to take an empty pot to the emperor. His mother told him to be honest about what happened. Ling felt sick to his stomach, but he knew his mother was right. He took his empty pot to the palace. When Ling arrived, he was amazed at the variety of plants grown by the other youths. They were beautiful in all shapes and sizes. Ling put his empty pot on the floor, and many of the people laughed at him. A few felt sorry for him and just said, "Hey, nice try." When the emperor arrived, he surveyed the room and greeted the young people. Ling just tried to hide in the back. "What great plants, trees, and flowers you have grown," said the emperor. "Today one of you will be appointed the next emperor." All of a sudden, the emperor spotted Ling at the back of the room with his empty pot. He ordered his guards to bring him to the front. Ling was terrified. "The emperor knows I'm a failure. Maybe he will have me turned off." When Ling got to the front, the emperor asked his name. "My name is Ling," he replied. All the kids were laughing and making fun of him. The emperor asked everyone to quiet down. He looked at Ling and then announced to the crowd, "Behold your new emperor! His name is Ling!" Ling couldn't believe it. Ling couldn't even grow his seed. How could he be the new emperor? Then the emperor said, "1 year ago today I gave everyone here a seed. I told you to take the seed, plant it, water it, and bring it back to me today. But I gave you all boiled seeds which would not grow. All of you, except Ling, have brought me trees and plants and flowers. When you found that the seed would not grow, you substituted another seed for the one I gave you. Ling was the only one with the courage and honesty to bring me a pot with my seed in it. Therefore, he is the one who will be the new emperor." The moral: honesty and integrity are more valuable and rewarding than deceit and appearances. True character shines through in actions of honesty, even when it is difficult or may seem like a failure. If you find value in this story, please like, share, write a comment below, and follow for more. There was once a millionaire who committed a murder and was sentenced to death. To await his execution, he was sent to a high-security prison on a remote island, isolated from the rest of the world. Desperate to escape, the millionaire thought of a plan and whispered to a prison guard, "I'll give you $1 million if you help me get out of here." The guard considered the offer but knew escape was nearly impossible. The island prison was heavily guarded, and no one had ever broken out. After thinking for a while, the guard came up with a risky idea. He said, "The only way out is in a coffin. When prisoners die, their bodies are placed in coffins and transported across the river to the mainland for burial. If you hide inside one of those coffins, I can dig you out once you're buried on land." The idea sent a chill down the millionaire's spine. The thought of hiding in a coffin alongside a corpse was terrifying, but he felt he had no choice. His survival depended on it. He agreed, and they planned for the guard to dig him up within 30 minutes of burial in exchange for the promised $1 million. The next morning, during the prisoner's break, the millionaire sneaked into the storage room where coffins were kept. He found one coffin that held a deceased prisoner, and though he was filled with dread, his desire to survive overpowered his fear. Holding his breath, he climbed in, lying on top of the dead body, and closed the lid. Soon after, the guards came, lifted the coffin, and transported it onto a boat. The millionaire's anxiety eased a bit as he smelled the fresh sea air, signaling they were on the way to the mainland. However, when the coffin finally stopped and he felt the weight of the dirt being shoveled on top, his heart pounded. He was buried alive and would have to rely on the guard to keep his word. As the minutes ticked by, the air in the coffin grew stifling. Breathing became harder and panic set in when the guard didn't show up after the agreed 30 minutes. Desperate, the millionaire fumbled in his pocket for a lighter. He flicked it on to check his watch. 50 minutes had passed, and he was running out of air. In a final moment of horror, he decided to look at the corpse beside him. He turned, bringing the lighter close to the face of the dead man. His face froze as he realized he was staring at the prison guard's face. the only person who knew he was buried there.